I'll try my very best to match your voice. Thank you. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Agnes Kalib. I always remind you that I'm the special envoy for the Food Systems Summit. I take the opportunity now, this opportunity to invite Her Excellency, the Deputy Secretary General, to give a word of recognition for David Nabarro.
Excellencies, my fellow colleagues in the UN, many friends and partners, ladies and gentlemen, permit me at this point just to acknowledge with great sadness, as you heard from Alvaro, the passing of our dear friend and esteemed colleague, Sir David Nabarro, this past weekend. Sir David's tireless dedication to food systems transformation, global health, and sustainable development had a profound impact on our world and on individuals everywhere. He was a world-class public servant, a source of inspiration and guidance to all who had the privilege to know and work with him. David brought energy, thoughtfulness, and kindness to everything he did. He had the ability to quickly identify something positive in any situation and in any person, and not something trite, something meaningful or strategic, accompanied by insights always on solutions and a way forward. David took on some of the world's biggest challenges through his life, from avian flu to the food crisis, to Ebola to COVID-19. When called on, David was always ready to serve, and he did it selflessly. He'd like to say that we must first find in complexity. Only then are we able to navigate our challenges, build consensus, and take action together. As we begin this meeting, our thoughts and heartfelt condolences are with his family, his beloved Florence, and his children and his friends and loved ones during this difficult time. Let us bring his spirit to our dialogue and carry forward his legacy in the work ahead. David was on his way to this conference, and many of us spoke to him in the hours before. We will miss him. Rest in peace, Sir David Nabarro.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Excellency, Deputy Secretary General, and thank you all. In the same spirit, David Nabarro was a leader in our efforts to move from vision to action. He worked with countries on defining their national pathways. Today, we are going to a session moving from vision to action entitled The Power of Political Will for Inclusive, Resilient, and Healthy Sustainable Food Systems. In this session, we are going to look at national and regional progress made since the 2021 Food Systems Summit, what happened since the stocktake moment of 2023, and we are going to look at what we've done in the area of inclusive governance, policy shifts, investments, systems, food, and systemic transformation in the food system. We are going to listen to governments that have been leading this action. And it's my honor and privilege now to welcome the Minister of Agriculture of Ethiopia to take us, to lead this, to take the first slot in leading this conversation. Over to you, Minister. Do we have the Minister of Ethiopia in the room? I need the ministers to come and take on this conversation. After the Minister of Ethiopia, we have the Minister of Agriculture of Italy. But I'm waiting for the Minister of Ethiopia. Okay, so we continue. Agriculture of Italy, please do take.
Across the world, a revolution is taking root. In the face of mounting and unprecedented challenges, food systems are offering a new direction towards economic, social, and environmental justice.
So let's have a video while opening up to help us open up this conversation.
Across the world, a revolution is taking root. In the face of unprecedented challenges, food systems are offering a new direction towards economic, social, and environmental justice. Farmers are building resilience to shocks through anticipatory action. School meals are nourishing the next generation. Smart technologies are complementing traditional knowledge, advancing agroecology and sustainability. Countries are adopting a systemic approach, converging food systems and climate action policies to help achieve the Sustainable Development Goals. Since the 2021 System Summit, countries have embarked on new pathways that are now delivering measurable results from the ground up. The 2023 Stocktake marked a step forward in accountability and inclusivity. Decision makers, citizens, and food system actors, from smallholder farmers to global corporations, now recognize the urgency to transform food systems and are aligning around a shared vision. More than ever, the voices of those normally left behind are being heard. Policies and financial support are being targeted to enhance the participation and leadership of rural communities and small-scale farmers. The voices and contributions of Indigenous people and women are being elevated to change decision-making processes. And the Global Youth Conference in Thailand has reignited ambitions, bringing together over 70 countries to set stronger intergenerational commitments. From Asia to Africa, Europe to the Arab region, and across the Americas and Caribbean, regional consultations have laid the foundation. This July, the world gathers in the heart of Africa in Addis Ababa, co-hosted by Ethiopia and Italy. In their steadfast partnership and commitment to food security, the UN Food System Summit+4 Stocktake provides the stage to accelerate collective action and delivery. Centered on the right to food and guided by new research, national data, and country-led evaluations, it will assess progress since 2021, identify gaps, and explore how to leverage fast-changing global and regional dynamics to accelerate transformation in current and future generations. This is a shared global responsibility. Governments, producers, youth, businesses, and civil societies are all stepping up to strengthen partnership, track commitments, and scale impact. But to power transformation, increased finance and investment remain essential. From concessional finance to climate funding, the focus is on mobilizing capital, more of it with a higher impact. Because food systems represent one of the highest return investments, they can improve health, advance equity, build climate resilience, and strengthen communities and economies. With just 5 years left to achieve the 2030 agenda, this is the time to accelerate progress and turn shared ambition into lasting, inclusive change.
So I'm going to provide the list of ministers that are going to speak so that people can prepare themselves ahead of time, so we know who is coming when. So we have Cote d'Ivoire next, we have Indonesia, we have Oman, we have Uzbekistan, we have Nepal, South Africa, United Arab Republic, United Arab Emirates, and Zambia. Then I'll bring the next list of countries after that. I have another list of about 4 or 5 countries. Do we have the Minister of Cote d'Ivoire in here? Yes, please come on stage if Minister of Cote d'Ivoire is in here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Do we have the Minister of Indonesia in the room? So we'll start with the Minister of Indonesia, then we'll come back to Cote d'Ivoire. Over to you, Your Excellency. Pardon? Oh yeah, that's. Please go ahead and speak from where you're seated.
Thank you, Chair. Yes. Thank you, Chair. Can you hear me?
Please speak up.
Thank you, Chair. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, as part of the UN Decade of Actions to Achieve SDGs by 2030, Indonesia reaffirms the commitment through transforming food systems to be healthier, more nutritious, equitable, sustainable, resilient, and inclusive. And prioritize several programs that has to be achieved under the new 5-year medium-term National Development Plan until 2029, translating our vision into action. The first program is Free Nutritious Meals Program. We targeted more than 80 million beneficiaries for and under 5 years old, as well as pregnant and lactating women. The second program is related to food self-sufficiency. We will increase production that includes blue foods and local food, food diversification, partnering with small and medium enterprises, and reduce food loss and food waste. The third program is climate smart, low carbon, and nutrition sensitive agriculture, including fortification and biofortification. Ladies and gentlemen, Indonesia welcome and appreciate the convening of this UNFSS+4. We all know face a more challenge in providing food security and food safety. For Indonesia, it is more than that. Food is the human rights for all people. It will complement and in line with our target from this meeting, harnessing a changing world for the future of sustainable food systems. Parallel with these efforts, Indonesia will also mobilize the necessary resources, including innovative financing, including through blended financing, for example, that encourage private sector engagement and investment in sustainable food systems. Ladies and gentlemen, for that reason, Indonesia calls for concerted global effort. We believe that the UNFSS+4 in Addis Ababa will be a venue and is timely on how we collectively maintain worldwide food stability, addressing both supply and demand dynamics. Therefore, Indonesia stands ready to collaborate with all stakeholders, including the United Nations, other countries, and other partners. Thank you, Chair.
What's going on? So can we have Ivory Coast now? And please, if you need to make a statement, when the names I've called out have finished, you can put up your hand. I don't need to write people down. You can raise your hand from where you're seated. But I'll first go with the list I read first. is not working. Please help. Côte d'Ivoire microphone.
Thank you. Distingués invités, mesdames et messieurs, chers panélistes, je voudrais, au nom du président de la République de Côte d'Ivoire, son Excellence M. Alassane Ouattara, vous adresser mes chaleureuses salutations. La Côte d'Ivoire est honorée de participer à cet important panel et voudrait saisir cette occasion pour remercier les organisateurs ainsi que le pays hôte. Comme vous le savez, sous la haute égide du président de la République, son Excellence Alassane Ouattara, l'alimentation et la nutrition ont été érigées en priorité nationale et placées au cœur de la lutte contre l'extrême pauvreté et la promotion de la prospérité partagée. Un conseil pour l'alimentation et la nutrition a été créé suite à notre adhésion en 2013 au mouvement Scaling Up Nutrition. Ce conseil multipartite et multisectoriel placé sous l'autorité du vice-président de la République a coordonné en 2021 les consultations nationales et l'évaluation sur les systèmes alimentaires qui ont permis à la Côte d'Ivoire de s'engager sur 10 axes lors du sommet de New York en 2021. Ces axes tiennent compte, entre autres, des défis suivants: l'accès au foncier, l'amélioration de la production et de la transformation des filières locales, végétales et animales, le soutien aux petits producteurs, la coordination de l'analyse et la gestion du risque sanitaire sur toute la chaîne de valeur alimentaire, l'éducation nutritionnelle et l'accélération de la mise en œuvre des plans de lutte contre le changement climatique et la perte de la biodiversité. Depuis le sommet bilan à Rome en 2023, des avancées ont été enregistrées par notre pays. Mesdames et messieurs, le gouvernement continue de déployer son vaste programme national d'investissement agricole 2018-2025, dont l'objectif principal est de parvenir à la souveraineté alimentaire. De façon spécifique, la politique nationale de développement de l'élevage, de la pêche et de l'aquaculture pour la période 2022-2026 permettra de répondre aux besoins de la population en protéines animales et halieutiques. Au-delà de ces politiques sectorielles, notre pays vient de se doter d'un nouveau plan national multisectoriel de nutrition 2024-2027. Ce plan vise à garantir à l'ensemble de la population un statut nutritionnel optimal afin d'améliorer le bien-être collectif, de développer le capital humain et de soutenir durablement une croissance inclusive. Il accorde une place importante à l'alimentation. Dans cette dynamique, le plan national de développement 2026-2030, en cours de finalisation, sera un levier stratégique pour renforcer la résilience de nos systèmes alimentaires. Mesdames et messieurs, en sa qualité de champion de l'Union africaine pour le suivi de l'agenda 2063, le président Alassane Ouattara a fait également de la lutte contre la faim et la malnutrition une de ses priorités à travers les actions suivantes. Le plaidoyer consacrant l'année 2022 à la nutrition assortie de la déclaration d'Abidjan en vue d'accélérer les investissements, la mise en œuvre et la coordination afin d'améliorer la nutrition et la sécurité alimentaire en Afrique. La création d'un centre d'excellence régional contre la faim et la malnutrition, en abrégé CERFAM, et sa mise à disposition gracieusement à tous les États africains afin de fédérer les efforts en la matière, avec bien sûr la contribution de tous les organes des Nations Unies. La mise en place du prix national, du prix d'excellence Côte d'Ivoire CERFAM pour le renforcement de la nutrition et de la sécurité alimentaire afin de couronner les succès des différents États. Et enfin, la mise en place d'Abidjan Legacy Programme qui vise à restaurer les écosystèmes dégradés et à promouvoir le développement durable. Mesdames et messieurs, au cours des multiples défis auxquels fait face le continent, il nous faut, dans un élan collectif, repenser les systèmes alimentaires africains à travers la création d'environnements institutionnels, politiques et financiers propices et durables. Je vous remercie pour votre aimable attention.
Thank you very much. We do have a number of people that need to speak. We are going to put up a timer. 4 minutes is the amount of time I speak. After 4 minutes, you'll be cut off. So please avoid being cut off and speak within your 4 minutes. Now it's the time to call Oman to give their statement. Over to you, Honorable Minister from Oman.
شكرا فخامة رئيس الجلسة.
Hold on, Mike, the sound needs to go up.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين. في البداية نتقدم بجزيل الشكر للجمهورية على استضافتها القمة الثانية للنظم الأغذية، وتؤكد سلطنة عمان حرصها الدائم على ما تم الاتفاق عليه من خلال منظمة الأغذية والزراعة الفاو. وقامت حكومة سلطنة عمان خلال السنوات الماضية بتنفيذ العديد من الاستراتيجيات التي أطلقتها وأخرى قيد الإعداد تسهم في تعزيز الإنتاج المحلي وتنويع سلاسل الإمداد وضمان الاستخدام الموارد الطبيعية، بالإضافة إلى تحسين التغذية ومكافحة سوء التغذية. ومن أبرز هذه الاستراتيجيات تطوير استراتيجية الأمن الغذائي والاستراتيجية الوطنية للتغذية والاستراتيجية الوطنية للتكيف والتخفيف من التغيرات المناخية، بالإضافة إلى استراتيجية البيئة والموارد الطبيعية واستراتيجية التنوع الوراثي للحيوانات المحلية. حققت سلطنة عمان المرتبة 54 عالميا في مؤشر الأداء البيئي لعام 2022، وهو ما يعكس جهودها المستمرة وتعزيز الاستدامة والحد من التلوث وإدارة الموارد الطبيعية بكفاءة. كما استلمت سلطنة عمان شهادة الاعتراف من منظمة الصحة العالمية بخلو المنتجات الغذائية من الدهون المتحولة الاصطناعية، لتكون من بين 9 دول على مستوى العالم وثاني دولة عربية حققت هذا الإنجاز، وهو ما يعكس التزامها بتحسين جودة الحياة وتعزيز الوقاية ورفع مؤشرات الصحة العامة. أولت حكومة سلطنة عمان اهتماما كبيرا بالموارد المائية من خلال عمل الاحترازات اللازمة للحفاظ عليها من التأثر بالعوامل الخارجية وضمان استدامتها للأجيال القادمة. كما وتسعى سلطنة عمان لتحقيق التوازن بين الاستخدامات المائية والمياه المتاحة في مختلف محافظات السلطنة وكافة القطاعات مع الأخذ في الاعتبار الاحتياجات البيئية. وتمثل القوانين والتشريعات أهمية كبرى في حوكمة وتنظيم العمل في مختلف المجالات المائية لحماية الثروة المائية من الاستنزاف والتلوث، بالإضافة إلى إيجاد برامج لمصادر التمويل للمشاريع الصغيرة والمتوسطة لدعم الشباب والمرأة في القطاعات الغذائية والزراعية. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. شكرا.
Thank you, Oman. Now it's Uzbekistan. Please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Uzbekistan.
It's coming. Uzbekistan.
Thank you. I'm here. Excellencies, these distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, I thank for this invitation, United Nations and government for hosting this important platform, which comes at a time when the global food system is under increasing strain. Of course, since this morning, we hear lots of good directions to improve food systems. And in Uzbekistan, under our leadership of our president, we also adopted 2030 strategy, and we're following all the suggested directions. If you think, if you ask, for the last 5 years, we increased our food production, also food export. As I understand, there are 2 main factors for food systems. One, among other many factors influencing, 2 main factors are production increase. All the governments, all the peers right now suggesting or proposing food increase, production, agricultural production increase. Second is marketing. We have to sell our products, market well. However, because of climate change issues, because of technological advances, because of logistics problems in many countries, geopolitical situation, we have to think our approaches very seriously. In Uzbekistan, we adopted a strategy for agricultural development. We have lots of international partners. One key thing I suggest for UN food systems also to adopt, or we have to together work with our partners, collaborators, peers, that we have to think not only implement new technologies or STEM technologies, we also think about bringing to agriculture humanity, creativity, ethics, and imagination. Otherwise, these high technological platforms, smart agricultural systems might be the problematic in the future, because any production increase in agriculture leave imprints. We have to think seriously about our inputs. We have to think about utilization of our water resources, bringing back to the agricultural community humanity, ethics, and creativity to solve any solutions, as well as the imagination. We have to imagine what will be in the future if we increase our production. Many already produced food products are lost, but just one figure. We right now produce 4 billion tons of food products worldwide. However, 1 billion tons of food valued at approximately $1 trillion are lost every day due to poor storage and sorting capacities, as well as food sharing programs. So my fellow colleagues, I just propose that we, in parallel with STEM projects, smart agriculture, digitalized agriculture projects, we have to bring Heki Mayan to agriculture and food system. Thank you very much.
For some reason, can you hear me? Okay. Is microphone working? Okay. So South Africa, then United Arab Emirates, Zambia, then Armenia, Saudi Arabia, Algeria, just so you remember the order. So South Africa, it's your turn. South Africa is in the room. Please go ahead. Turn on the microphone of South Africa, please. Let's go to United Arab Emirates. Okay. I don't see UAE. Not there. Let's go to Zambia. Is Zambia in here? Okay. Then let's go to Armenia. Is Armenia in here?
Yeah.
Please go ahead. So we are starting with Armenia now.
Distinguished ministers, esteemed constituency representatives, it's an honor to address you today at the second United Nations Food System Summit stocktake. We are deeply grateful to the government of Ethiopia and Italy, the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations and partner organizations for convening this important event. Today's gathering provides an opportunity to assess the progress of food systems transformation and its contribution to achieving the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. The 2021 UN Food Systems Summit, organized by the Secretary General, was a turning point. It reframed food systems as essential to achieving the Sustainable Development Goals and inspired global action, encouraging countries to launch transformative national pathway and bringing together a wide range of stakeholders. Today's summit reaffirmed our shared political will and collective responsibility. It offers a platform for successful national efforts and innovative solutions that are addressing food system challenges. Agriculture plays a vital role in Armenia's economy. It is the main source of income in rural areas, contributing about 8% to our GDP and employing over 22% of our workforce. Since agriculture policy has focused on strengthening food security and self-sufficiency. The systemic study on our food security system helped identify strengths and gaps in policy, legislation, market dynamics, and supply chains. It revealed our reliance on external supply chains and the need for more resilient, integrated approaches. As part of our poverty reduction efforts, we have prioritized domestic production of key food items and reduced dependency on imports. We also recognize the importance of other economic sectors that affect food value chains and overall food security. Our agricultural reforms have become more targeted and result-driven. A major milestone was the 2020-2030 strategy for agricultural development, which promotes efficiency, food safety, food security, innovation, and experts. In 2023, we also adopted a food security strategy and action plan to guide further progress. Despite our efforts, we still face serious challenges, including climate change, regional instability, economic and infrastructure constraints. Armenia's agricultural sector remains highly dependent on weather conditions. Dry summers and irregular rainfall threaten crop yields. Our geopolitical situation has also caused major disruption in regional trade and food supply chains. Closed borders and underdeveloped infrastructure, especially in rural, pressing concerns. Limited storage facilities and outdated farming equipment reduce both productivity and our ability to distribute food effectively. Many farmers still struggle to access international markets. Despite this issue, Armenia has made notable progress in enhancing food security through targeted government initiatives and international cooperation. To achieve key goals such as advancing unfired agrarian policy, promoting high-value and organic agriculture, and improving food security, our ministry plays a central role. It develops and monitors support programs for agri-food sector, manages agricultural risk, and shapes policies across key sectors such as animal husbandry, plant breeding, food safety, and irrigation. With this vision, Armenia stands ready to deepen its collaboration with.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Now it's my pleasure to call on the Honorable Minister of Saudi Arabia. Please turn on the microphone for Saudi Arabia.
Okay, thank you very much.
Saudi Arabia.
Thank you very much. أصحاب المعالي الحضور الكرام، السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. يطيب لي باسم المملكة العربية السعودية أن أتقدم بالشكر الجزيل لحكومة جمهورية إثيوبيا على الدعوة الكريمة لحضور هذا المؤتمر. كما أشكر الأمانة العامة للأمم المتحدة والمنظمين لهذا الحدث، والذي يهدف إلى تحويل النظم الغذائية لمواجهة التحديات العالمية المتزايدة التي تواجه هذه النظم والإسهام في تحقيقه للشعوب كافة. السيدات والسادة، تولي المملكة العربية السعودية الأمن الغذائي والتحول الشامل في النظم الغذائية أولوية ضمن توجهاتها الاستراتيجية، لما يتماشى مع رؤية المملكة 2030 وأهداف التنمية المستدامة، وتؤكد دفع جهود تحول النظم الغذائية من خلال تعزيز الإنتاجية وتحسين الاستخدام الأمثل للموارد الطبيعية والحد من فقد وهدر الغذاء، إضافة إلى تعزيز الاقتصاد الدائري ودعم الابتكار والتحول الرقمي وتبني نهج الصحة الواحدة لتحقيق نظم غذائية منتجة ومرنة ومستدامة، ودعم تمكين المرأة والشباب ورفع اقتصاديات المزارعين خاصة في المناطق الريفية. حيث اعتمدت المملكة خارطة الطريق لتحويل نظمها الغذائية تمثلت في إعطاء الأولوية لحوكمة القطاع الزراعي، صياغة السياسات من خلال إطلاق استراتيجيات وطنية تعني بالأمن الغذائي وأخرى للبيئة والمياه وأيضاً للزراعة. وقد انعكست بشكل إيجابي على نمو الإنتاج الزراعي المحلي الذي تجاوز 12.5 مليون طن، وبلغت مساهمته في الناتج المحلي الإجمالي نحو 118 مليار ريال سعودي، وبمعدل نمو مرتب تجاوز 7% خلال ال5 سنوات الماضية. ولضمان تحول النظم الغذائية قامت المملكة بزيادة التمويل الاستثمار الزراعي بنسبة 1000% تقريبا على مدى ال5 سنوات الماضية، كما تم رفع قيمة القروض الزراعية إلى أكثر من 7 مليارات ريال سعودي في عام 2024 فقط، وربطها بالابتكار لتبني التقنيات الزراعية وتوسيع نطاق وزيادة الإنتاج وترويع القاعدة الإنتاجية باستهداف مجموعة من الممكنات الزراعية التي تشمل التربية المنزلية، أيضاً البيوت المحمية والاستزراع السمكي. الحضور الكرام، تعمل المملكة باستمرار مع المنظمات الإقليمية والدولية لتحقيق تنمية زراعية مستدامة، وتعد الشراكة مع منظمة الزراعة والأغذية للأمم المتحدة برنامج التنمية الريفية الزراعية المستدامة، والذي يبلغ تمويله مقدار 8.5 مليار ريال سعودي بمثابة ممكن نوعي لتوطين التقنيات الزراعية، زيادة الإنتاجية وتمكين المرأة والشباب في القطاع الزراعي. وفي الختام أؤكد على أن بناء مستقبل النظم الغذائية المستدامة في ظل التطورات العالمية الحالية يتطلب استراتيجية متعددة المسارات يقودها الابتكار وتدعمها أنظمة تجارية متعددة الأطراف، وآمل أن يسهم هذا المؤتمر في تلبية الاحتياجات الإنسانية وتحقيق الأهداف التنموية وتمكين الفئات الأكثر حاجة ودعم لتحويل النظم الغذائية إلى نتائج واقعية وقابلة للقياس، راجيا للجميع التوفيق والسداد. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Thank you so much, Saudi Arabia. Now, I'll remind you the list of countries that are coming up so you can prepare. The next country is Algeria, Kuwait, Rwanda, Tanzania, Equatorial Guinea, Belarus, Belgium, Azerbaijan. So let's go to Algeria now. Let's listen to Algeria.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أصحاب المعالي والجلالة والسمو والسعادة السيدات والسادة، إن اجتماعنا اليوم يعتبر مرحلة فاصلة في التقييم الدوري الذي بدأنا فيه منذ قمة 2021، ولقد انخرط بلد الجزائر هذه الديناميكية من خلال إدراج تمويل النظم الغذائية على المستوى الوطني في الاستراتيجيات الوطنية، واعتماد خارطة طريق وطنية للتحول المستدام المنظم للتغذية، مع اعتماد إجراءات عملية تتماشى ونداء الأمين العام للأمم المتحدة لسنة 2023. وفي هذا الإطار اعتمدت الجزائر حوكمة مؤسساتية لتحويل النظم الغذائية على المستوى الوطني بمشاركة مختلف القطاعات الوزارية المعنية، معتمدة بنهج تشاركي ضم مختلف الفاعلين الوطنيين ممثلين عن المنظمات غير الحكومية والحركة الجمعوية، وخاصة المنظمات المهنية، بالإضافة للباحثين والأكاديميين، مع إعطاء أهمية خاصة للنساء والشباب. ودعما لتحول هذه النظم تم اعتماد عدة استراتيجيات وسياسات تهدف إلى تحقيق الأمن الغذائي والاكتفاء الذاتي من المواد الزراعية والحيوانية، مع الأخذ بعين الاعتبار الأبعاد المتاحة المناخية والصحية والاقتصادية من أجل بلوغ نظم غذائية مرنة وشاملة وصحية ومستدامة. وعليه قامت الجزائر بتعزيز القطاعات الاستراتيجية خاصة زراعة الجنوب من خلال تدابير تحفيزية والرفع من طاقة التخزين والتبريد من أجل تعزيز الأمن الغذائي وحفاظا على استقرار الأسعار ومحاربة التبذير، وذلك بإنجاز 30 صومعة تخزين بطاقة 100,000 طن للوحدة وتخصيص 350 مركز جواري للتخزين بسعة 5,000 طن وزيادة قدرة بناء غرف تبريد صغيرة ومتوسطة على المستوى الوطني مع تقديم تسهيلات للمستثمرين في هذا المجال. كما شجعت الجزائر الزراعة الصحراوية من خلال تخصيص 400,000 هكتار من الأراضي الزراعية مع تحديد هدف الوصول إلى 1,000,000 هكتار عام 2025، مما يشكل إنجازا فريدا في مواجهة الصعوبات البيئية وبعث الحياة في بيئة قاسية. السيدات والسادة، وتأقلما مع المتغيرات المناخية ومشاكل الجفاف والاحتباس الحراري الذي تعاني منه المنطقة المتوسطية، اعتمدت الجزائر استراتيجية طموحة ترتكز على 3 محاور تمثل في أولا إنشاء تحويلات مياه ضخمة من المناطق التي تسخر في مخزون المياه المتساقطة إلى المناطق التي. ثانيا زيادة القدرة على التخزين من خلال بناء سدود. ثالثا تعبئة المواد المائية غير التقليدية من خلال عملية البحر، حيث دخلت في سنة 2025 5 محطات لتحديث مياه البحر جديدة للخدمة بقدرة 1.5 مليون متر مكعب يوميا، وكذا من خلال تصفية ومعالجة مياه الصرف الصحي واستعمال وسائل سقي مقتصدة المياه، حيث تغطي هذه التقنية حوالي 60% من الأراضي المسقية. ولمعالجة آثار التغيرات المناخية ومشكلة التصحر، قامت الجزائر بتوسيع مشروع السد الأخضر على مساحة 300,000 هكتار وإعادة تأهيل وتنمية مساحة 500,000 هكتار مع الشروع.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Now let's go on to Kuwait. Let's turn on the microphone of Kuwait. Honorable Minister from Kuwait. Okay. Is Kuwait in? We will now move on to Rwanda if Kuwait is not ready.
Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, all protocols observed. Let me start with this statement or this quote. Food systems transformation is not just about producing more, it's about producing better and together. I'm pleased to join you for this important stock-taking of a global food systems transformation agenda. Reflecting on progress, Rwanda has made significant steps since the previous UN Food Systems Summit. We have localized our national pathways through inclusive dialogues and aligned our food systems reforms with the broader goals of Vision 2050 and Malabo. Notable milestones include scaling up nutrition-sensitive agriculture, investing in youth-led enterprises, and promoting homegrown school feeding programs and biofortified crops to combat malnutrition. To achieve climate-resilient agri-food systems, we are unlocking a diversity of opportunities through strategic investments in irrigation, regenerative agriculture, and innovative practices such as hydroponic fodder production. Excellencies, dear audience, partnerships and tracking commitments are vital. Rwanda has established strong coordination platforms with development partners and continues to work closely with UN agencies, CGR centers, and philanthropic organizations. We are committed to using evidence-based monitoring to track delivery on our commitments and course correct wherever needed. However, challenges remain. Unlocking finance and increasing investments is a priority. The gap between ambition and available financing, especially for climate resilient infrastructure, value addition, and inclusive systems must be addressed. We call for increased concessional financing, blended models, and support for private sector engagement, particularly for women and youth. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, Rwanda stands ready to share lessons and host regional learning initiatives to support peer countries in advancing their pathways. We reaffirm our political and ethical commitment to building resilient, inclusive, and sustainable food systems that leave no soul untouched. Allow me to conclude by saying that a food system that feeds all populations, nourishes our children, sustains our environment, and empowers our youth is not a dream. It is a shared vision. I thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Minister Rwanda. Now we move on to the Honorable Minister of Tanzania. After that, we'll go on to Belgium, Belarus, Azerbaijan, Yemen, Equatorial Guinea. Then I'll give you the next list. So let's move on.
Thank you very much, Excellencies, Ministers, Madam Moderator, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Rusconi of the Italian Republic. Allow me on behalf of the government of the United States to convey our deep appreciation to the government and of the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia for the warm hospitality and excellent logistical and substantive arrangements extended to our delegation. Participating in this second United Nations Food System Summit convened in strategic partnership with the government of the Italian Republic, and special appreciation to the UN family. It is a profound honor to address this distinguished gathering on behalf of the United Republic of Tanzania, whilst we in Tanzania put forward unwavering solidarity with the global community in advancing sustainable, equitable, and resilient food systems for the benefit of present and our future generation. The United Republic of Tanzania is undertaking comprehensive measures to transform its food systems. We are advancing climate smart and sustainable agricultural practices, strengthening food value chains and rural markets, empowering women, youth, and smallholder farmers, mainstreaming nutrition development planning, and deepening regional cooperation in agricultural innovation and food trade. We invite fellow countries and partners experience with us together and open for more further discussions and engagements during this summit, and use this summit as a platform for gains. To accelerate this transformation, the United Republic of Tanzania has also introduced key policy, institutional, and pragmatic measures that are firmly aligned with our National Development Vision 2050 and regional and sub-regional commitment, which include the 5 key areas as follows. First is the establishment of the Presidential Food and Agriculture Delivery Council. Second, the formulation of the National Pathways for Sustainable Food Systems and the National Roadmap to Sustainable Food System Transformation by year 2030. Number 3 is the rollout of Tanzania Food System Resilience Program. Number 4, the preparation of the Agricultural Master Plan for 2050, 25 years. And the last one, the enhancement of the National Food Reserve Agency and the construction of a center of excellence for reducing post-harvest losses and management, including National Agricultural Reference Laboratory. The government of Tanzania has also significantly increased public investment in the agricultural sector, expanded the operation of the Tanzania Agricultural Development Bank, which is tackling the financing part, including strengthening of the investment in Zanzibar Islands by establishing a cooperative bank. Tanzania has also instituted the Agriculture Development Fund to bolster agricultural infrastructure and substantially improve food crop production, thus attaining over 128% food self-sufficiency. Excellencies, since 2023, agricultural development programs have directly benefited over 5,000 youth and women indicate the creation of employment opportunities for over 3 million people, particularly within these priority groups by the year 2030. To conclude, to overcome these impediments, we must enhance international solidarity, reinforce strategic partnership, and scale up investment in sustainable agriculture. Equally vital is the facilitation of technology transfer, capacity building, and equitable access to productive resources. We in the United Republic of Tanzania hereby invite all those interested parties, both in public and private sector, including businesses, to come to Tanzania and share your experiences with us and pave way forward for better collaboration of exchange of knowledge and experience. Thank you very much, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Now let's quickly move on to the Minister of Belgium. Over to you.
Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it's a great honor for me to represent Belgium at the second Food System Summit, Stocktake. 2 years ago, Belgium committed a resilient, fair and healthy food policy. And today we strongly reaffirm our steadfast commitment. We believe in multilateralism as a path to coordinated solutions and advocate for a stronger global governance rooted in a rights-based approach to food systems. Belgium's international cooperation is guided by 3 global public goods: climate, health, and stability. We view sustainable food systems as essential to addressing climate change, promoting global health, and fostering peace. Reflecting this, nearly 14% of our cooperation budget is dedicated to food systems, transformation, and food security. And our approach prioritizes the most vulnerable. We believe that inclusive lasting change must be co-created, and we just heard it earlier, with the most affected, namely farmers and public authorities, within existing frameworks. And innovation is vital, but it must be paired with proven sustainable practices such as agroecology. And we also want to commend the work of Belgian NGOs, partnering with local actors to support family farming and combat rural poverty and food insecurity. And also domestically, Belgium's regions, and we have 3 of them, that's Wallonia, Flanders, and the Brussels Capital Region, have taken significant steps. For example, the Walloon government launched the Eat Tomorrow strategy, Stratégie Manger Demain, to accelerate the transition to a sustainable food system. Similarly, Flanders adopted its Good for Food strategy, and the Brussels Capital Region launched the Good Food 2 strategy. All 3 strategies adopt a food systems approach and were developed inclusively through co-creation with diverse stakeholders. Investments in research, and knowledge exchange on shared challenges, such as engaging the retail sector, and include robust monitoring and evaluation frameworks to maximize their impact. To illustrate some of the impactful actions so far, Wallonia is promoting sustainable food and catering by rolling out a sustainable canteen label. Flanders is involving citizens in the Big Food Map project for healthier food environments. And Brussels is developing good food supply chains for local sustainable products. So the UNFSS has created a global momentum for food systems transformation. While progress has been made, significant challenges remain. We must continue working together to build sustainable, equitable, and future-proof food systems worldwide. Systems that nourish people, support sustainable agriculture, economic, social, and environmental resilience. Belgium remains fully committed to doing its part. Thank you.
Thank you, Belgium. Let's go on to Belarus.
Thank you, Chair. Head of the Belarusian delegation. Excellencies, distinguished guests, first of all, allow me to extend sincere appreciation and gratitude to the Ethiopian government for kind invitation to participate and for warm welcome of our summit. Evidently, the role and importance of the agricultural production and food processing industry in the immediate future will increase. That is why it is of high importance to bring to one place the best international and local expertise in the agricultural sector to ensure that in the 21st century, When we are surrounded by the space, IT, and other high-level technologies, the people, and especially will not suffer of the lack of food. Food security has been high on the global agenda in recent years, and certainly not without reason. Indeed, according to the various studies undertaken by FAO and others, there is enough food to feed everyone on the globe. Yet, up to 800 million people are starving, while nearly 2 billion people do not have a permanent access to healthy food. As a result, the world is significantly lagging behind in achieving Sustainable Development Goal 2, which is about ending hunger. How can one explain this divergence between what is possible and what is available? The short answer is that food systems around the world have been increasingly under stress. There are multiple factors that put them under stress, like climate change, pandemics, wars, and conflicts. But I would like to point out another factor which stands out among all, because it is clearly a man-made factor and can be easily removed. The factor is unilateral coercive measures. Its effect is the following: specific unlawful action undertaken by some states against others create food insecurity worldwide. Specifically, Western sanctions against Belarus and Russia, introduced, by the way, without UN mandates, have led to a sharp decline in the supply of fertilizers, grain, and other food items on international markets. As a result, the restrictions triggered a chain of events that eventually contributed to global food insecurity. That is why Belarus calls for the elimination of this man-made factor. It means that the countries that impose sanctions must leave them. A few words about Belarus' specific contribution to global food security. We have built in our country a highly developed, sustainable, and innovative agricultural sector. As a result, Belarus is one of the larger producers of food, fertilizers, and agricultural machinery, which we trade with all interested countries, particularly with those in Africa, Asia, and Latin America. Furthermore, we provide our agro-products in the framework of humanitarian assistance to countries in need. Generally, we stand ready to do our best to strengthen food system around the world and contribute to global food security. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Belarus. Let's go now to the Honorable Minister of Azerbaijan.
Distinguished colleagues, esteemed participants of the plenary, it's a pleasure and honor to share Azerbaijan's perspectives and experiences regarding the transformation of food systems, a topic of paramount importance for our collective future. We all recognize that resilient food systems are indispensable to advancing progress across the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. Inclusive, resilient, healthy, and sustainable food systems encompass all elements, both food and non-food, that contribute to improved livelihoods and human well-being. However, persistent regional conflicts, climate change, and other global challenges place severe stress on agri-food systems and threatens our food security. Without timely and coordinated action, we risk facing a global food emergency with far-reaching consequences. Therefore, accelerating food system transformation is not an option. It's a necessity for all of us. Given the multifaceted and evolving nature of food system challenges, the digital transformation of agriculture represents a critical shift. Governments must prioritize policies that support infrastructure development, enhance connectivity, promote educational advancement, and cultivate innovation systems. These efforts must include programs that build digital skills and foster a culture of innovation among all actors in the agricultural sector. Equally important is the ensuring universal access to healthy and nutritious food. According to FAO estimates, approximately 73% of the hidden costs of the global food system are linked to health-related expenditures. Recognizing that unhealthy diets are a major contributor to these costs, we believe it is imperative for agricultural policies to prioritize the production and promotion of nutritious food and balanced diets. Furthermore, science and innovation must be at the heart of agricultural transformation. Scientific research remains the primary engine of innovation in agriculture, and we must enhance international cooperation in this domain. We encourage the implementation of joint projects, technology transfer initiatives, and the exchange of best practices among stakeholders to foster innovation and sustainability in agriculture. In closing, Azerbaijan remains committed to supporting global efforts towards the transformation of food systems and stands ready to collaborate with all partners to achieve our shared goals. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Azerbaijan. Now we go to the Honorable Minister of Yemen. Please turn on the microphone of Yemen.
Yes. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أصحاب المعالي الحضور جميعا، سعداء جدا في هذه اليوم للمشاركة في أعمال هذه المؤتمر الكبير. بسر أن أنا أبلغ الشكر والتقدير لجمهورية إثيوبيا الفيدرالية لاستضافة هذه القمة والأمم المتحدة والحكومة الإيطالية لإنجاح جهود هذه القمة. سيدة السادة، إن اليمن تمر بمرحلة بالغة التعقيد تعاني من أحد أسوأ الأزمات الإنسانية في العالم، وتعد أزمة انعدام الأمن الغذائي في بلادنا واحدة من أكثر الأزمات إلحاحاً وتهديداً لحياة الملايين. لقد دفعت الحرب إلى جانب التغييرات المناخية وارتفاع أسعار الغذاء عالمياً وتدهور مؤسسات الدولة إلى تدهور مريع في الإنتاج الزراعي المحلي وارتفاع معدلات الفقر وسوء التغذية بين النساء والأطفال. والصراع في البحر ألحق أضراراً بالبيئة البحرية والأحياء المائية وارتفاع منكلف إمدادات الغذاء. رغم هذه التحديات فإن الحكومة اليمنية ممثلة بمجلس القيادة الرئاسي قد أولت ملف الأمن الغذائي أولوية قصوى ضمن خطوطها الوطنية. نعمل على إعادة بناء القطاع الزراعي وتنمية الثروة السمكية وتعزيز نظم الحماية الاجتماعية وتوفير بها أكثر مرونة في تحقيق الأمن الغذائي المستدام. لقد تم إطلاق الاستراتيجية الوطنية للأمن الغذائي والتغذية، كما بدأنا بإصلاح المنظومة المؤسسية المعنية بالزراعة والمياه والثروة السمكية إلى جانب جهودنا في تعزيز الشراكة مع القطاع الخاص والمجتمع المدني والمنظمات الدولية والإقليمية، إضافة إلى إعداد العديد من المشاريع الصغيرة لدعم مشاريع الصغار المزارعين والصيادين وتعزيز القدرات الإنتاجية والبناء المؤسسي واللوائح المنظمة للقطاعات المختلفة. سيادة السادة، نحن ندرك جيدا أن في الأنظمة الغذائية يتطلب تعاونا دوليا وتمويلا مستدام والتزاما سياسيا واضحا. من هذا المنطلق فإننا نجدد دعوتنا إلى المجتمع الدولي للوقوف إلى جانب اليمن في هذه اللحظة الحرجة، وذلك من خلال زيادة حجم التمويلات والاستثمار المخصص للبرامج الزراعية والغذائية الموجهة نحو بناء القدرة على الصمود وليس العكس. دعم تنفيذ الاستراتيجية الوطنية للأمن الغذائي والتغذية وتوفير المساعدة الفنية اللازمة الموائمة مع هذه المخرجات العالمية التي نحن بصددها الآن تحويل الأنظمة الغذائية. تعزيز الاستثمار في البنية التحتية الريفية والموارد الطبيعية، في ذلك مشاريع الري والحصاد وحصاد مياه والحصاد المائي والطاقات المتجددة. الاستثمار في قطاع الشباب والمرأة الريفية باعتبارهم الركيزة الأساسية لأي تحول غذائي مستدام، حيث تشكل 60% من سكان البلاد من المجتمعات الريفية. سيداتي السادة، إن في اليمن لا نطلب دعما إنسانيا فقط، بل نسعى إلى شراكة تنموية عادلة تؤسس لمرحلة جديدة من الاستقرار والإنتاج، تعزز قدرة اليمنيين على الاعتماد على الذات وتحويل الزراعة من قطاع تقليدي إلى قطاع مستدام. مع الإشارة أن 70% من سكان البلاد هم يمتهنون المهنة الزراعة والأسماك والاصطياد. في الختام نؤكد التزامنا الكامل بتنفيذ مخرجات هذه القمة والعمل مع جميع الشركاء لتسديد التحول الحقيقي في أنظمتنا الغذائية رغم ما نواجهه من التحديات، ونأمل أن تخرج هذه القمة بنتائج عملية ملموسة تستجيب لحجم المعاناة الإنسانية وتدفع العالم نحو مستقبل غذائي أكثر عدلا وشمولا وإنسانية. شكرا لكم جميعا والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Thank you, Honorable Minister Yemen. Now we go on to the Honorable Minister of Equatorial Guinea. Let me tell the next set of countries is Bhutan, Djibouti, Ghana, Thailand, and Guinea-Conakry, so you can know and be in the room. Over to you, Equatorial Guinea.
All right. Excelentísimo presidente, es un honor y honda satisfacción tomar la palabra en este importante evento en representación de su excelencia Obiangema Banzogo, presidente de la República de Guinea Ecuatorial, que por razón de agenda no ha podido acudir con su presencia a esta convocatoria. Expreso al mismo tiempo mi gratitud al pueblo etíope por el buen recibimiento que he sido objeto junto a la delegación que me acompaña, así como la perfecta organización, y nos hemos sentido aquí como en nuestra propia casa. Al mismo tiempo, felicitar al gobierno italiano y a la Agencia de las Naciones Unidas por celebrar esta cumbre en un momento tan crucial que presiona y pisotea los sistemas alimentarios. Excelentísimos señores, desde la primera convocatoria de la cumbre de los sistemas alimentarios en 21, Guinea Ecuatorial realizaron en acciones a los lineamientos trazados por los sistemas alimentarios como un enfoque práctico, como una oportunidad a la comunidad mundial para crear alianzas en acciones concretas en la lucha para la transformación de los sistemas alimentarios actuales. Debo informar de que Guinea Ecuatorial es un país eminentemente agrícola, clima tropical, abundante en pluviometría, suelos fértiles. Sin embargo, las prácticas agrícolas utilizadas son de subsistencias obsoletas con un trabajo manual de baja productividad, que con el aumento creciente de la población, la producción actual no es capaz de atender a la alta demanda de los alimentos. Es por esta razón, somos un país importador de alimentos, a pesar de la gran potencialidad agropecuaria y pesquera, creando la inseguridad alimentaria, la desnutrición y otros factores afines. Para afrontar a esa realidad y fomentar la autoproducción de cara a alcanzar la autosuficiencia alimentaria, se ha elaborado planes estratégicos por medio de sendas conferencias con objetivo de alinear a los programas de desarrollo sostenible Agenda y 2063, denominado Plan de Diversificación Económica para promover el sector productivo con vista al fomento de la industrialización. Señoras y señores, la convocatoria de los diálogos nacionales Guinea Ecuatorial se implicó con el grupo de trabajo de los sistemas Naciones Unidas, con la implicación de todas las capas sociales, sector privado, instituciones oficiales implicadas, organismos no gubernamentales, etcétera, y elaboramos la hoja de ruta nacional para consolidación de los sistemas alimentarios basados en 3 ejes: promover la producción agrícola sostenible, garantizar el acceso a alimentos sanos e inocuos para todos, establecer los medios de vida equitativos. Varias acciones han sido realizadas por el gobierno de Guinea Ecuatorial. La formulación del Programa Nacional de Seguridad Alimentaria. Hemos elaborado para su ejecución fincas modelos en todos los distritos para poder apoyar a los pequeños agricultores. El gobierno de Guinea Ecuatorial ha construido plantas de alimentos para evitar los desperdicios alimenticios. Ha construido laboratorios bromatológicos y la agencia de normalización. También estamos construyendo la fábrica de atún en Anobón. En Guinea Ecuatorial, para apoyo a la mujer, la primera dama de la nación está apoyando a la mujer guineana en una organización denominada AMUGE. El primer ministro ha convocado varios foros para atraer inversores privados en el sector productivo. No obstante, a pesar de los esfuerzos nacionales, el apoyo constante de las Naciones Unidas sigue perdiendo dificultades. No obstante, albergamos la esperanza de que las 6 acciones retenidas en esta cumbre podemos sacar una conclusión para esta cumbre. Muchas gracias.
Thank you so much. Now we move on to the Honorable Minister of Bhutan.
Thank you, Madam Moderator. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. On behalf of His Majesty the King, Royal Government, and the people of Bhutan, I extend our appreciation for hosting this timely summit. We gather here not just to reflect, but to renew our resolve, for in these times of climate stress, rising inequality, the food system transformation is no longer a choice, but a necessity. In Bhutan, this transformation is being navigated through the lens of our enduring development philosophy of gross national happiness, which places human well-being, ecological harmony, and equity at the heart of progress. Since the first Food System Summit, we have installed the transformation agenda by establishing National Food Systems Task Force and aligning our policies, programs, and plans to the food systems pathways we have committed to. Our vision is bold: to achieve food and nutrition security, climate resilience, inclusive and sustainable prosperity through conscious and sustainable means. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, we are proud to report the following progress. Number one, Bhutan remains committed to organic agriculture. Farmyard manure and regenerative agriculture practices form the backbone of our production system. Our use of synthetic fertilizer remains one of the lowest in the world, with only about 5.4 kg per acre. And recently, we have launched the 21st Century Economic Roadmap, a 10x economic vision, which reiterated this commitment. Number two, we are also deeply committed to nutrition and healthy diets. Our One Child, One Egg per Day initiative, implemented in partnership with FAO, is improving nutrition of our children while boosting the rural poultry enterprise. Quinoa, our product, is being introduced into school and hospital meals, linking nutrition to livelihood and land use. Our school feeding program sources meals locally, closing the loop between production and consumption. Three, to drive inclusive agri-food system transformation, we have hosted our first National Youth Symposium on Food Systems, as well as convened Bhutan Agri-Food Trade and Investment Forum 2024, bringing together policymakers, farmers, youth, and investors. Four, guided by the principles of gross national happiness, Bhutan is taking mindfulness approach towards food system transformation. Next year, we will host the first International Conscious Food Systems Summit and Bhutan Agri-Food Trade Investment Forum in partnership with UNDP and FAO respectively, inviting the world to imagine not just about how we farm and eat, but how we think about food and make mindfulness investment. Therefore, I warmly invite all of you to join Bhutan on our journey toward a mindful transformation of food systems, one rooted in purpose, partnership, and planetary well-being. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, while proud of our progress, we face pressing challenges: labor shortages, fragmented lands, climate threats, and limited market access. Yet, with the right partnership, youth engagement, digital innovation, and inclusive policies, we believe these challenges can become powerful opportunities for resilience and growth. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, in closing, Bhutan reaffirms our commitment to building inclusive, right-based, and sustainable food systems for people, for planet, and for generations to come. Thank you, and touch the leg.
Thank you, Bhutan. I'll just read again the next set of countries so people can be in the room. Djibouti is coming, Ghana, Thailand, Guinea-Conakry, India, Portugal, Central African Republic, Ukraine, Haiti, Namibia, Nigeria, Burundi, then we close. So please, over to you, Djibouti.
Merci, Madame le modérateur. Je vais essayer d'être très rapide. Je voudrais d'abord saluer l'Éthiopie, notamment le Premier ministre, pour avoir abrité ce deuxième sommet du système alimentaire plus 4. Je voudrais également souligner et remercier le système des Nations Unies pour nous avoir invités à cette organisation, à cette séance plénière. Mesdames et messieurs, nous nous retrouvons aujourd'hui pour parler d'un sujet qui ne devrait plus être un problème au XXIe siècle. Il s'agit de la faim. Mais la réalité est bien là. Des millions d'Africains souffrent de la faim et de la malnutrition, un défi que nous, en tant que dirigeants africains, avons l'obligation morale et stratégique de relever. Un monde sans faim n'est pas une utopie. C'est un impératif. C'est notre responsabilité collective. Mesdames et messieurs, Djibouti, comme beaucoup de pays africains, fait face au défi d'un climat aride, à la rareté des ressources en eau et aux effets croissants des changements climatiques. Cependant, malgré ces contraintes, nous nous efforçons de bâtir un secteur agricole résilient et durable, capable de nourrir notre population et de contribuer à la sécurité alimentaire régionale. Excellences, Mesdames et Messieurs, notre vision pour éliminer la faim, il nous faut miser sur l'innovation, la coopération régionale et sur une gestion durable de nos ressources. Nous devons valoriser les savoirs locaux tout en adoptant des technologies modernes adaptées à nos contextes. Nos fermes peuvent être modernisées grâce à l'irrigation, à l'agriculture intelligente et à des semences résistantes aux conditions climatiques extrêmes. L'exemple des pays voisins qui ont su combiner tradition et innovation est la preuve que l'Afrique peut elle aussi être un leader en matière de sécurité alimentaire. Excellences, Mesdames et Messieurs, je crois fermement que l'avenir de notre continent réside dans notre capacité à renforcer les chaînes de valeur locales et à limiter notre dépendance aux importations alimentaires. Cela signifie un soutien accru aux agriculteurs, aux petites exploitations et aux jeunes agriculteurs qui sont souvent les premiers producteurs alimentaires en Afrique. Ces acteurs doivent avoir accès au financement, bien entendu aux formations et aux infrastructures pour que leur récolte prospère. Excellence, la faim est aussi une question de coopération. Aucun pays ne peut réussir seul dans cette liste. Ensemble, nous devons bâtir des réseaux solides pour échanger nos expériences et nos ressources et renforcer nos marchés communs et garantir des flux de commerce qui soutiennent nos agriculteurs et nos consommateurs. La Corne est une région aux multiples défis, mais elle est aussi un creuset d'initiatives régionales de solidarité et d'innovation. En renforçant notre coopération, nous pourrons réduire les vulnérabilités et assurer une sécurité alimentaire durable. Je termine en réaffirmant l'engagement de Djibouti à travailler la main dans la main avec tous nos partenaires africains et internationaux pour mettre fin à la faim en Afrique.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency. Thanks for highlighting also the importance of local knowledge and technology. My name is Khaled Tawil. I will continue to be your moderator for the remaining of this session. We have 13 speakers, so I would like to ask you to be concise. Would like to let every minister in the room speak. So next speaker is Ghana. You have the floor. Ghana.
Thank you very much, Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. We are transforming Ghana's food systems through the Feed Ghana program. The Feed Ghana program is the government flagship agricultural transformation program, serving as the vehicle for operationalizing the agriculture for economic transformation agenda. The program aims to modernize food production systems and improve productivity across key crops and livestock, strengthen seed and fertilizer systems, irrigation, mechanization, and digital advisory services, expand value chains, attract private investment, and create jobs for youth and women, promote resilience through climate smart agriculture and digital innovation. Key milestones include subsidized input distribution, which has enhanced access to fertilizers and certified seeds distribution in key farming districts, support for cooperatives and the formalization of farmers' organizations has deepened inclusion and market linkages. 46,558 community commodity farmer cooperatives formed as of 27 July 2025. Investment in poultry revitalization and the backyard poultry program has enhanced household nutrition and incomes, especially for women. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Ghana recognizes that sustainable agricultural transformation requires reliable, inclusive, and catalytic financing. Major interventions include the following:
launch of the Women's Development Bank, a dedicated financial institution providing tailored products to support women in agriculture, agro-processing, and trade. Scaling up the Ghana School Feeding Program. Budgetary allocation to the Ghana School Feeding Program has increased by 33% in 2025. Daily feeding grant per child raised to 100%. Digitization and decentralization introduced to improve efficiency, transparency, and timely payments. Under the Food System Resilience Program, Ghana has secured funding from the World Bank. Investment under this program covers irrigation infrastructure, seed banks, veterinary services, and climate resilient technologies. Over 240,000 smallholders to adopt climate smart agriculture technologies by 2028. Ghana continues to call for reform of the global food finance architecture to make financing accessible and affordable to developing countries. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the combined impact of the Feed Ghana program and the targeted financing interventions is helping Ghana achieve food and nutrition security by expanding availability of diverse and nutritious foods at national and household levels, increasing access to animal source proteins, example poultry, through backyard production and cooperatives, strengthening the linkage between school feeding and local agriculture, enhancing dietary diversity for children while boosting farmer incomes, supporting women entrepreneurs and processors to scale nutritious food production and reduce post-harvest losses, promoting digital innovations and behavioral change communication to encourage healthy dietary choices. These efforts are fully aligned with Ghana's National Food Systems Pathway and contribute directly to SDG 2, Zero Hunger, SDG 3, Good Health and Wellbeing, and SDG 13, Climate Action.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency. Thanks for highlighting the Feed Ghana program, which I'm sure it is an inspiration for many, many other countries. I would like now to go to Thailand. You have 3 minutes, sir.
Thank you, Excellency, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Kingdom of Thailand, I wish to express our heartfelt gratitude to the government of the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia and Italian Republic, and to the UN Food System Coordination Hub for hosting this important, timely UNFSS+4 gathering. It is a great honor to speak on behalf of the Kingdom of Thailand under the theme, From Vision to Action, the Power of Political Will for Inclusive, Healthy, and Sustainable Food System. Since the 2021 UN Food System Summit, Thailand has demonstrated a strong political will to translate the global vision into concrete national action. Our journey began with multi-stakeholder dialogue across ministries and regions, resulting in a nationally owned pathway aligned with the SDGs and the UNFSS action tracks. This transformation is being implemented through 4 strategic pillars, including integrated governance, inclusive economy and finance, science, innovation and technology, and collective capacity building. Importantly, we are localizing our provincial food committee to ensure that national strategies are responsive to local needs and requirements. We believe that food is not only essential for life, but also a catalyst for all 17 Sustainable Development Goals. Let us continue working together, learning, investing, and advancing our shared pathway from vision to action. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Thailand. Thank you also for being within the time limit. I go now to Guinea.
Thank you. I'm here. Thank you for this opportunity. I would briefly like to share with you experience of India from food system vision to outcome. Some of the major challenges which motivated us to adopt elements of food system strategy are: one, serious disconnect between producers and consumer. Producers always complaining they are not getting right price for their produce. Consumer always complaining that they are not getting value for their money. Second reason is that serious mismatch between achievement on food production and health outcome. Then there is serious issue of employment. Then very slow participation of private sector in agriculture and almost absence of producer in post-harvest segment, and then issues related to sustainability. So to address these challenges, we started with a new focus on agriculture some years back. It has many elements of a strategy for food system transformation. In terms of achievements, it led to impressive achievement in growth. Today, in the last decade, we are the fastest growing large agriculture sector among major countries in the world. We have seen demand-led diversification. Our horticulture is growing 2 times the staple, livestock is growing 3 times the growth in staple, and fishery is growing at 4 times the growth rate in staples. We also achieved stability, we also de-risked agriculture, and we were also enabled by these achievements in production front to start ambitious nutrition intervention program, and we are supplying 40% requirement of cereals free to 2/3 of our population. As a result of achievement on production front and nutrition intervention, according, we brought down our poverty percent from 27% to 5% in terms of $3 poverty line. In terms of hunger, again, we have made a big achievement. And another achievement is in terms of gender equality. And recently, we have further consolidated these initiatives, and we hope that we will be able to address all those challenges, the most important of which to our mind is jobs, and we are now trying to create jobs in food system. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And definitely India is one of the countries that has achieved huge progress in decreasing hunger and malnutrition. I go now to the esteemed delegate of Guinea-Conakry.
Bonsoir à tout le monde. Merci de m'avoir donné la parole. Au nom de son excellence ministre, chef de gouvernement de la République de Guinée, M. Amadou Ouriba, qui n'a pas pu faire le déplacement, et il m'a chargé de faire passer son message. La République de Guinée exprime sa profonde gratitude au secrétaire général des Nations Unies, au gouvernement de la République fédérale démocratique d'Éthiopie, ainsi qu'aux organisateurs du présent sommet, qui marque dans la dynamique mondiale de transformation des systèmes alimentaires, 4 ans après les engagements fondateurs de 2021. La Guinée s'inscrit résolument dans cette dynamique, en cohérence avec la vision stratégique du gouvernement portée par son Excellence le général d'armée Mamadi Doumbouya, président de la République, chef de l'État, chef suprême des armées, déclinée dans le programme Simandou 2040. Cette vision vise à bâtir une Guinée prospère, souveraine, verte et solidaire, s'appuyant sur un développement économique durable, une transformation structurelle des secteurs productifs et un capital humain renforcé. Depuis 2021, la Guinée a franchi des étapes importantes dans la réforme de son système alimentaire. Il s'agit 1. Le renforcement de la gouvernance et de la coordination. 2. Les réformes politiques et planification stratégique. 3. Amélioration des mécanismes de suivi et de redevabilité. 4. Promotion de la résilience et de la durabilité. La Guinée a lancé des initiatives en agroécologie, en diversification agricole et en fortification alimentaire. Des efforts notables ont été déployés pour soutenir les petits producteurs améliorer l'accès aux intrants agricoles, promouvoir la production locale, renforcer la chaîne de valeur et soutenir la fortification des aliments. Le programme Simandou 2040, au-delà de l'exploitation responsable des ressources minières, constitue un catalyseur de transformation économique et crucial à travers le développement des infrastructures logistiques et énergétiques, la création d'un écosystème agro-industriel, l'opportunité d'investir durablement dans le capital humain, en particulier les jeunes et les femmes, à travers l'éducation nutritionnelle, la formation technique et l'accès au financement. Pour terminer, la Guinée réaffirme avec force sa volonté de bâtir un système alimentaire résilient, inclusif, équitable et durable, en s'appuyant sur sa vision nationale de transformation des opportunités du Simandou 2040 et l'élan collectif du mouvement SUN et du système des Nations Unies. La Guinée appelle à une solidarité internationale renouvelée, à une meilleure coordination des ressources et à une responsabilité accrue des États et des partenaires. Nous restons en transformation des systèmes alimentaires.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency, for shedding light on how Guinea is transforming its food system through a whole of society, whole of government approach. I go now to the esteemed delegate of Portugal.
Thank you, Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is an honor to address you today on behalf of the Portuguese Republic. Portugal remains fully committed with the principles and goals of the 2030 Agenda. We continue to strive to transition to a more prosperous, inclusive, and sustainable society and economy, leaving no one behind. Portugal remains a strong supporter of multilateralism, with the United Nations at its core. In fact, as the world faces multiple interconnected challenges, multilateralism becomes even more important, as well as the need to strengthen global efforts towards a timely achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals. The transformation of food systems is a structural axis for addressing key global challenges. Mechanisms for follow-up, monitoring, and international dialogue is essential to achieving a participatory and responsible global balance. Portugal has been actively contributing to the global food security agenda and will continue to do so. We consider it very important to integrate food strategies into national public policies through a multi-sectoral and participatory approach, which is the basis of the national strategy for food and nutritional security we set up in Portugal. Territorial cohesion and social justice are fundamental to food transformation, together with the active involvement of small farmers, rural women, and young people who are agents of change. Furthermore, the transition to sustainable food systems must be supported by scientific evidence. On the other hand, regenerative farming practices and sustainable soil and water management can be an important component of the much-needed response to climate change and biodiversity loss. We also believe that competence centers and in private sector are key to accelerating innovation and digitalization in agriculture. It is therefore essential to strengthen the mobilization of public and private resources to achieve effective and sustainable solutions. These principles are at the core of our national strategy for food and nutritional security. So far, the progress achieved in its implementation includes improvements in social and nutritional indicators, such as reducing the risk of poverty and food insecurity, increasing support for vulnerable groups, promoting healthy eating habits, valuing sustainable agricultural and aquacultural production, gains in environmental management, and reduction of salt and sugar in food. Finally, a word on the Alliance Against Hunger and Poverty, launched under Brazil's G20 presidency. Portugal is a founding member of this initiative. We sincerely hope it brings renewed strength as a global force for action, uniting countries and partners to deliver real solutions from food security to social protection and ensuring that no one is left behind. Thank you for your attention.
Portugal, thanks also for emphasizing the importance of partnerships and an inclusive approach that include the private sector and civil society. I go now to Central African Republic.
Merci, Monsieur le modérateur. C'est un honneur pour moi de prendre la parole au nom de mon pays, la République centrafricaine. Et avant tout propos, je tiens d'abord à présenter toutes mes gratitudes à l'endroit du gouvernement éthiopien et du peuple éthiopien pour l'accueil combien de fois chaleureux. Et nous tenons à remercier et à féliciter le gouvernement éthiopien et italien pour la réussite de l'organisation conjointe de ce sommet et remercier les Nations Unies pour nous avoir invités. À 5 ans de l'échéance des ODD, 10 ans pour les pays africains, la revue centrafricaine appréhende l'agriculture dans le dynamique de la transformation de son système à travers les 8 points qui s'est défini dans la feuille de route nationale et qui concourt à une vision. C'est un changement de paradigme qui a mis du temps à s'imposer comme une évidence, car tous les sectoriels œuvraient en silo pour résoudre le problème lié à l'insécurité alimentaire, à la faim, à la malnutrition, qui sont des problèmes transversaux et multisectoriels. C'est grâce à la vision de son Excellence, le professeur Faustin Akanji Touadéra, président de la République, chef de l'État, le pays s'est doté d'une feuille de route nationale pour la transformation du système alimentaire qui se résume sur la vision de renforcer le système alimentaire durable, inclusif, sensible aux gens, à la nutrition, résilient au changement climatique et aux autres chocs pour assurer une alimentation suffisante, saine et accessible à tous les Centrafricains, tout en valorisant les ressources locales d'ici l'horizon 2030. Les 8 voies concourent à la réalisation de cette vision qui sont promouvoir la transition de l'humanitaire vers le développement, promouvoir l'approche chaîne de valeur accessible à la nutrition, créer un environnement propice à l'entrepreneuriat agricole des jeunes et des femmes en milieu rural, améliorer l'amour des ressources et l'accès au financement des producteurs, développer la recherche et accroître la production à travers la mécanisation et les approches innovantes, gérer durablement les ressources naturelles et rendre autonomes les peuples autochtones et les minorités, constituer les réserves alimentaires des achats de produits locaux et renforcer la gouvernance du système alimentaire. Tout ceci, le pays s'est confronté à un problème de financement, de plaidoyer auprès des partenaires techniques et financiers pour la mise en disposition de financement pour accomplir cette mission qui est pour l'humanité. Je vous remercie.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency, and also for highlighting the importance of having a paradigm shift for food system transformation. Financing is at the core of this food system summit, and there are many sessions about investment and financing. Very quickly, because we need to finish exactly at 2 o'clock, I need to go now to Ukraine.
Thank you, moderator. Excellencies, distinguished delegates, at the outset, I would like to thank the organizers and our hosts for convening this important stocktake. I speak on behalf of Ukraine, a country that not only feeds millions of people around the world, but also continues to defend its right to exist and produce food amid full-scale invasion. In the face of war, we have witnessed firsthand the profound vulnerability of global food systems to geopolitical shocks. Ukrainian farmers have continued to sow and harvest under shelling. Sea routes are obstructed, infrastructure has been destroyed, yet we persist in exporting agricultural products, including grain, sunflower oil, and other essential goods, to more than 100 countries, including those most in need. This is not just Ukraine's struggles, it is a test for all of us, whether we can keep food systems truly sustainable, resilient, and rooted in rule-based cooperation. Excellent. In 2022, the President of Ukraine, Volodymyr Zelensky, issued Decree number 41/2022, which defined national priorities for food systems transformation by 2030 and outlined a clear strategic pathway to achieve them. This transformation is built around 4 key pillars: healthy and balanced diets, environmentally friendly production, resilience to market volatility, accessibility of food products for all. Meanwhile, the harmonization of our legislation and agri-food practices with the EU acquis are another strategic pillar of national food system transformation. These priorities are fully embedded in Ukraine's strategy for the development of agriculture in rural areas until 2030, adopted last year. The strategy underscores our determination to align national policies with global commitments under the SDGs and the Paris Agreement. In doing so, we invite international partners to invest in Ukraine's green and resilient recovery. Our food system is not only vital to our national development, it is a pillar of global food security. Distinguished delegates, transformation requires equity. Ukrainian smallholders and war-affected communities need access to concessional finance, insurance, and social protection. Let us make sure that global finance mechanisms like those discussed at the 4th International Conference on Financing for Development reach those on the ground. Science and accountability must guide our path forward. We support efforts to mainstream data and evidence-based decision-making and to track real commitments from governments, private actors, and donors alike. Concluding, I would like to stress that despite all the difficulties, Ukraine remains a reliable contributor to global food systems. We will continue to act not just as a supplier, but as a responsible partner in building a future where no one is left behind, where food is peace and resilience is our shared currency. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ukraina. We go now to Haiti.
Excellences, Mesdames, Messieurs les participants, je me réjouis du privilège qui m'est accordé aujourd'hui de pouvoir prendre la parole à cette tribune. Je transmets la gratitude et les salutations du Conseil présidentiel de transition que j'ai l'honneur de présenter à cette Assemblée. Je suis honoré d'être en Afrique, en Éthiopie, sur la terre de mes ancêtres. Haïti appelle à une reconnaissance prioritaire des contextes de crise prolongée. En effet, notre pays est confronté à une crise alimentaire chronique aggravée par une crise structurelle occasionnant une détérioration accrue du climat politique et sécuritaire. La transformation de système alimentaire en Haïti doit être traitée dans un contexte de priorité mondiale des contextes fragiles. Haïti souhaite que les pays en situation de crise prolongée soient placés au cœur des mécanismes globaux de financement, d'innovation, de réforme du système alimentaire. La problématique haïtienne appelle un accompagnement dans une transition ambitieuse vers un système alimentaire juste, résilient et souverain. Le Conseil présidentiel de transition, tout en mettant l'emphase sur la pacification du pays, a déjà engagé les réformes structurelles nécessaires, notamment par la création de l'ONASAN, un organisme de coordination multisectorielle de la sécurité alimentaire. Nous voudrions compter sur des investissements massifs, une gouvernance réellement partagée, transparente, fondée sur l'accord tripartite entre secteur privé, public et société civile, ainsi que des partenariats internationaux ancrés dans la confiance, la réciprocité, dans la dignité. Puissent nos objectifs se concrétiser dans la glace du réel. Merci.
Thank you so much, Haiti. I go Namibia, followed by Niger. Namibia.
Thank you very much, Your Excellencies, distinguished delegates. On behalf of Her Excellency Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah, the President of the Republic of Namibia, allow me to convey our government's appreciation to the government of Ethiopia and Italy for co-hosting this critical summit, and for the United Nations Secretary General for unwavering commitment to food security transformation. It is a great honor for the Republic of Namibia to participate in this vital summit as the world comes together to reflect on the future of our food system and amid an era of profound transformation and uncertainty. We commend the United Nations and its partnership for convening this important platform and for galvanizing global towards more inclusive, resilient, and sustainable food systems. Namibia recognizes that the current global food landscape is increasingly shaped by the reality of the climate change, the technological achievements and population dynamic, geographic political shifts, and economical vulnerability. These interlinked challenges demands bold, innovative, and collaborative approaches that leaves no one behind. As a country largely arid and semi-arid, Namibia is especially vulnerable to climate vulnerability and environmental degradations. Drought and water scarcity continue to affect agricultural productivity, food security, and rural livelihoods. Yet, amid these challenges, Namibia remains committed to building sustainable, climate resilient, and food systems. Namibia government, as part of the National Development Plan, have prioritized agriculture as one of the priority sectors and enable us to build sustainable agri-food system that will enable Namibia to become food self-sufficient and to achieve sustainable development goal too. The government have undertaken to integrate climate smart agriculture, invest in only early warning system, and promote sustainable land and water management. Our national food system transformation pave way, launched after the 2021 summit, continue to guide our multi-sectoral efforts to ensure access to safe nutrition and affordable food for all. As part of the Namibian also places strong emphasis on empowering women and youth in the agricultural sector, strengthening local value chains. In conclusion,
Thank you so much, Namibia. We go to Niger.
Merci pour la parole. L'élégation du Niger étant hors de la salle, le Niger souhaite que son intervention soit ramenée à la fin de la liste de la présente intervention. Merci.
Thank you so much, Niger. We go to Burundi now. If not, yes, please, sir.
Merci pour la parole. Le Burundi, conscient qu'une population bien nourrie est la fondation d'une nation prospère et que le renforcement de la nutrition et secteur alimentaire requiert de modifier en profondeur nos systèmes alimentaires et que leur transformation est nécessaire pour une progression vers un Burundi où chaque individu dispose à manger en qualité et en quantité et où chaque ménage dispose de moyens suffisants et durables pour subvenir aux besoins élémentaires d'investissement familial. Il s'est engagé à travers un leadership transformationnel et exemplaire dans un processus continu de renforcement de la sécurité alimentaire et nutritionnelle de la population burundaise, suivant une approche intégrée multisectorielle, ce qui a permis de minimiser les barrières entre les différentes disciplines et galvaniser les experts des systèmes alimentaires, la santé, la protection sociale, l'éducation, l'approvisionnement en eau potable, l'hygiène, assainissement, également la composante genre pour des systèmes alimentaires socialement et économiquement résilients. Ainsi, l'objectif général de la feuille de route de notre pays est d'apporter des pistes d'action réformatrices afin que le Burundi dispose des systèmes alimentaires répondant aux besoins du peuple burundais pour un capital humain suffisamment productif et un développement socio-économique durable. Le grand défi étant de nourrir la population, une amélioration des facteurs de production et une gestion efficace et rationnelle des ressources, tout en faisant face à la démographie galopante et aux phénomènes liés au changement climatique. En matière d'intégration des systèmes alimentaires dans les politiques et stratégies, le Burundi a intégré les stratégies des systèmes alimentaires dans les politiques nationales par des interventions transformatrices afin d'accélérer l'impact et soutenir le développement durable, les moyens de subsistance, la nutrition, la santé, la croissance économique et l'action climatique. Les interventions prioritaires cohérentes à l'orientation programmatique de la vision Burundi pays émergent 2040 et développée en 2060 sont notamment la protection du patrimoine foncier et l'environnement par le traçage des cours d'eau niveau, la protection des sources d'eau, la stabilisation des berges et cours d'eau et la gestion des déchets. Les initiatives publiques et privées de transformation agroalimentaire ont été entreprises, la facilitation pour l'accès au capital foncier pour les petits producteurs, la prise en compte de la dimension genre dans les politiques et stratégies alimentaires par des actions relatives à l'autonomisation des femmes, l'adoption de nouvelles technologies pour se procurer d'énergie dans les ménages comme levier important pour limiter la déforestation. Une attention particulière a été portée sur le financement des systèmes alimentaires à travers l'augmentation des allocations budgétaires, sans oublier les systèmes d'assurance agricole, de garantie pour les projets des femmes, la création de la banque des femmes et celle des jeunes en coopérative agro-pastoraux pour financer les projets bancables et d'autres priorités en rapport avec l'urbanisation pour libérer les espaces agricoles, la mise en commun des terres, la transformation des produits agricoles,
l'irrigation à grande échelle. En matière de gouvernance et collaboration, il faut noter que la gouvernance des systèmes alimentaires est ancrée dans la plateforme secteur alimentaire de nutrition qui a permis de rassembler toutes les parties prenantes dans un espace commun d'action. En matière de mobilisation de ressources, il faut noter que le Burundi soutient le shift stratégique adoptant l'approche multisystémique pour renforcer la nutrition, les systèmes alimentaires venant au premier déficit de financement dans le cadre des projets conjoints multi-acteurs. Les forums économiques organisés par le groupe.
Thank you so much, Your Excellencies. Thank you so much. Okay, I go now to the last two speakers, 1 minute each, because we need to let the co-host provide their concluding remarks. So, Iraq.
شكرا جزيلا. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. السيدات والسادة أصحاب المعالي والسعادة، السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. يشرفني أن أنقل إليكم تحيات جمهورية العراق حكومة وشعبا، وأنا أعبر عن تقديرنا البالغ لانعقاد هذه القمة العالمية الرابعة للنظم الغذائي والتي تمثل محورية لمراجعة التقدم المحرز نحو نظم غذائية عادلة مستدامة وشاملة. أيها الحضور الكريم، إن العراق رغم ما مر به من تحديات مركبة من تغيرات مناخية شديدة وندرة في الموارد المائية وتداعيات الأزمات الاقتصادية والسياسية، إلا أنه عازم على إحداث تحول حقيقي في نظمه الغذائية يستند إلى العدالة الاجتماعية والشباب وضمان الأمن الغذائي للأجيال القادمة. لقد أطلقنا خلال الأعوام الماضية حوارا وطنيا شاملا حول النظم الغذائية شاركت فيه مؤسسات الدولة والمجتمع المدني والقطاع الخاص والمزارعون والباحثون لإرساء رؤية وطنية متكاملة تعزز من الهدر الغذائي وتحفز الابتكار الزراعي والتكنولوجي. ونؤكد اليوم من هذا المنبر الدولي دعمنا الكامل لمسار القمة والتزامنا بتنفيذ التوصيات التي من شأنها تسريع التقدم نحو تحقيق أهداف التنمية المستدامة، لا سيما الهدف الثاني القضاء على الجوع، والهدف الثالث عشر العمل المناخي، والهدف الثاني عشر الاستهلاك والإنتاج الزراعي. أيها السادة، أن تعزيز التعاون الإقليمي والدولي ونقل التكنولوجيا معرفة وبناء الشراكات الفاعلة هو السبيل لضمان تحول جذري في النظم الغذائية. لا يترك أحد خلف الركب، والعراق مستعد للعمل جنبا إلى جنب مع الدول الشقيقة والصديقة لتحقيق هذا الهدف النبيل. ختاما، نجدد دعوتنا أن تبقى النظم الغذائية أولوية في سياسات العالم، فهي ليست قضية زراعة فقط، بل قضية صحة وكرامة واستقرار وعدالة اجتماعية. شكرا جزيلا والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
شكرا جزيلا جمهورية العراق. المتحدث الأخير, the last speaker is Nepal.
Nepal. Thank you, Honorable Chair, Excellencies, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen. Our Constitution has enshrined the right food and food sovereignty as fundamental rights. This is not only a legal recognition but a moral and political responsibility that guides our national actions. To translate this commitment into reality, we have enacted the right to Food Sovereignty Act and Regulation, one of the few of its kind globally. Like many other countries, Nepal faces immense challenges in ensuring a sustained food production and the overall stability of its food system. Therefore, also in line with the UN call, Government of Nepal has launched the Food System Transformation Strategic Plan. We have already initiated the process of localization of the food system transformation strategic access and pathway. We are empowering municipalities to lead food systems actions tailored to their ecological and socio-economic context. Likewise, countries
Thank you so much, Your Excellency. Okay, thank you so much for all the interventions, for all the experiences about food system transformation at the national level. We still have 2 days for discussion, many sessions that I'm sure you will be engaging in. To conclude, I would like to invite the two co-hosts, Italy and Ethiopia, to provide the concluding remark. Let me start with Mr. Marco Risconi, the Director of the Italian Agency for Development Cooperation.
Thank you, Excellencies, distinguished delegates, high-level guests, dear co-chair, Ethiopian co-chair, ladies and gentlemen. I take the floor in my capacity as the Director of Italian Agency for Development Cooperation, which is extremely active on food security, a priority for the Italian Development Cooperation. It is a great pleasure for me to be here in this plenary session on behalf of Italy. The world has profoundly changed since 2021. In recent years, we have experienced a series of crises that have intertwined and reinforced. The combination of the pandemic, of the aggression war in Ukraine, and the growing instability in international agriculture and energy markets has tremendously highlighted the risks associated with excessive dependence on external sources for access to goods such as food. These upheavals have had effects everywhere, but they have been felt even more acutely in the most vulnerable context that has been said on the previous interventions, where the capacity to absorb external shocks is limited and where food insecurity risks becoming a permanent condition, not an exception. In this context, the concept of food sovereignty takes on a renewed and strategic meaning. We speak of sovereignty, not of autarky. Sovereignty means the right and ability of each country to achieve the food self-sufficiency, to build agricultural systems capable of meeting their own needs, while simultaneously defending and maintaining their own identity. And it is clear that this is, first and foremost, the responsibility of the ministers of agriculture. For this reason, discussions we are having today and which we'll continue to have in the coming days to be valuable, concrete, and significant. They allow us to share experiences and difficulties while recognizing the diversity of our national situations. I would like also to touch on a point that is fundamental to us. The future of agriculture depends on new generations. We must ensure that agricultural work is a dignified and attractive opportunity for young people. We have the duty to preserve our agricultural traditions, but also to adapt them to the present and to the future, through innovation, through knowledge, and through access to technology. In doing this, young people will not merely be the recipients of policies, but they will be agents, active agents of change. A young person should never feel forced to leave his own homeland, his land, due to lack of prospects. On the contrary, we must ensure that they can, with confidence and optimism, build a career and a future in agriculture. In this context, human capital is at the heart of our approach. Of the 5 Ps of the Agenda 2030, in our opinion, there is one which is engraved in bold type, which is the P for people. We believe, in fact, that education, training, and access to knowledge are essential conditions for transforming food systems. Investing in people means strengthening communities, enhancing traditional knowledge, and at the same time promoting local innovation. Thank you for the attention.
Thank you so much, Italy. Thanks also for your leadership and for highlighting many issues that are at the core of the discussion. The summit, food sovereignty, the role of youth, renovation, and the investment in people. Thank you so much. Now it's my great pleasure to invite His Excellency Dr. Gilma Amante, the Minister of Agriculture of Ethiopia. Please.
Thank you, Moderator, Excellencies, my co-chair. It is a distinct pleasure and honor for me to make this closing remark. First of all, I would like to thank all of you for your great contribution to this discussion. Ethiopia has demonstrated itself in walking the talk. We have tried to turn insights into impacts by mobilizing the whole of society and the whole of government. For those of you who have joined the Action Day yesterday, on yesterday's day, we have set a practical tone for this summit. Delegates who took part in the field visits were able to see firsthand innovation and challenges on the ground. More than 400 delegates have engaged in the field visits that provided on-ground insights into innovative agricultural practices and local solutions. In Ethiopia, in transforming our food system, we took business unusual. As I mentioned already, we took the whole of society approach. We again took farm to fork approach, which includes all value chain from production to consumption. And we have created a governance model under 4 pillars, which includes federal level interministerial steering committee consisting of 16 ministries. And we have, of course, cascaded this to the subnational level. And we have the private sector and development partners pillar. And of course, Ethiopia decided to track its own progress by establishing indicators that integrate and international reporting requirements as well. So we have indicators that can monitor impact level indicators, intermediate outcomes, as well as output and activity level indicators to monitor our progress. Ethiopia's progress in food system, actually, we have aligned and integrated our national flagship initiatives in our food system pathway. We are lucky that most of our national flagship initiatives, 80% of them have already aligned to the food systems pathway. To mention some of the key initiatives, I think you have already heard in the documentary of this morning as well, the National Wheat Initiative, the Cluster Farming Approach, the Green Legacy Program, and the Bounty of the Basket Initiative, the Homegrown School Feeding Program, as well as Sakota Declaration are some of them that are aligned to our national food system. In moving forward, let me mention 3 key important issues. In Ethiopia, as we have already got our best practices, that means we have got the magic formula already. What is expected now is to scale up those best practices. Of course, in scaling up those best practices, there is a clear consensus that no single entity can achieve this transformation alone. It requires the active and meaningful participation of all stakeholders in the value chain. Second, we have to attract investments through the involvement of the private sector. With the support from FAO hand-in-hand initiative, we have identified key priority investment areas in the food system value chain. Therefore, it is critical to unlock and reorient financing in order to channel more public and private finance into sustainable food systems. Finally, Ethiopia will continue to adapt and learn from its journey to accelerate its food systems transformation and extend its experiences to others and learn from others' journeys as well. I thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Your Excellency. 3 key messages: scaling up, investment, and adaptation. Thank you so much for your leadership and for the hospitality. Thank you to all participants for the patience. This plenary session is concluded. Thank you so much.